Hey everyone, thanks for your patience on me getting this video reply done for you about greens powders and algae products. I know that it's taken a little while for me to get this done, and I honestly wish that I had addressed it sooner rather than later so that my mind was fresh on it. But life doesn't always accommodate the way that we think it will, which I think is the biggest lesson that many of us have taken from the last 18 months. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right. I'm going to start by reiterating about the greens powders. So as I mentioned in the Zoom class, when it comes to the greens powders, it's really important to think about how we humans are meant to eat as a species. That means think about grasses. Are we mammals that are made to be getting our nutrients from grasses? Like, are we made to digest nutrients from grass? No, we are not. We are not ruminants. We don't have the physiology or the capability digestion wise to be able to be getting our nutrients from grasses. So when it comes to greens supplements and greens powders, one of the things that I want you to keep in mind is that if you ever see a grass or a grass extract in a greens supplement or a greens powder, that is being used as a filler because it's cheap and it's easy to use and to produce. And it's not necessarily where we are meant to be getting our nutrients from. I know that there was a huge craze that started in the 90s having to do with wheatgrass, but it doesn't change the fact that we are not meant to be getting our nutrients from grasses. So just remember, if you're looking for a really good greens product, look for things that are filler free. And that means no grasses and no fillers like maltodextrin and things like that. You want to stay away from that crap. Okay, so now let's get into algae. So algae is admittedly a little bit of a complex topic. There's a whole bunch of different layers that go along with it. And I'm going to try to summarize it to the best of my ability to keep this video as short and as succinct as possible. So when it comes to the algae, there's a lot of different things to consider. Cleanliness, sourcing, where and how it's grown. They've actually found that unfortunately, the majority of blue-green algae that are on the market are full of things like heavy metals and toxins like herbicides and pesticides and things like that from water runoff that are actually running into the water where these algae are naturally growing. They are not something that I would necessarily suggest sourcing from natural sources per se. Because of that, if you contact a company that is producing a product where they say that they're sourcing it naturally, like it's wild harvested and wild grown, and you try to ask for them for a certificate of analysis showing things like herbicide and pesticide residue and toxic chemical residue and heavy metal toxicity and things like that, they most likely are not going to be wanting to show you the certificate of analysis because I hate to say it, but it's probably not going to look good. So what algae sources are actually good? Well, spirulina, which is a form of blue-green algae, but it is a very specific species of blue-green algae, and it is a cultivated form. But there are some things to keep in mind having to do with spirulina as well. So spirulina has naturally occurring antioxidants such as astaxanthin. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me try to say that again. Astaxanthin in it. Yay, I got it out. And the thing about the superfood qualities of spirulina is that they oxidize so quickly. Like the nutrients in spirulina and spirulina in and of itself goes rancid and oxidizes very quickly. So when you are looking at a spirulina supplement, you're going to want to make sure that you are sourcing from a product or from a company that is producing it in a way that keeps the spirulina away from things like heat and oxygen as much as possible. Now, there is one company that I know of. It's possible that there are more companies doing this correctly now that I'm not aware of. And if you are aware of them, please let me know, like in the comments below, because I would love to hear. But the one that I'm aware of that's been doing all the right things the right ways for the right reasons is a brand called Nutrex, and they make a product called Hawaiian Spirulina. Now, what they do is they actually grow all of their spirulina in their own controlled, like environmentally controlled pools. But not only that, they understand that spirulina, it thrives off of naturally occurring minerals. So they pump ocean water from 2 miles below the surface into their pools to basically fertilize the spirulina that they're growing. When they dry and dehydrate the spirulina, they make sure that they do it with exceedingly low temperatures, and they do it in a nitrous oxide, oxygen-free environment. And then when they pack up their spirulina, they actually pack the spirulina in nitrous oxide to make sure that it does not get exposed to oxygen while it sits on the shelf. One of the things that this company promotes actively is when you use their products, if you buy larger containers of it, they suggest that people take out what you need for a 1-week supply in a smaller bottle and keep it in the fridge, and then keep your larger bottle in the freezer and use it that way, because it will keep it from being exposed to light and heat and oxygen, so that it keeps and maintains its potent superfood properties for as long as possible, which is wonderful. And that's exactly how I use it. And that's the brand that I use as well. So one of the reasons why I love spirulina specifically is because it is one of the few naturally occurring substances that is known to help to oxygenate the blood for energy. So it literally gives us an energy boost by helping the bloodstream to become saturated with oxygen in a good, healthy way. So that's one of the reasons why I really like using it, because it gives this natural, even burst of energy, because it's very nutrient rich. It has the antioxidants in it to help break down the free radicals and things like that. So if you use greens and algae products, make sure that you're sourcing high quality. And if you're not sure what high quality is, if you have additional questions that this video has brought up, feel free to go ahead and post those as comments down below. And I hope that this was helpful and you enjoyed it. Have a great day.